Hello everyone and welcome or welcome back. My name is Shaunneka, and if you are new here, I release seated slow flows and yin yoga practices. So today we have a full body yin yoga practice for your morning. This is a great way to include stretching or yoga to your morning routine. And doing yin first thing in the morning is really beneficial because the body is still cold and it allows for a little bit of a tighter pull on those ligaments, which will help to increase your overall flexibility and mobility over time. But not even that, you will notice a better sense of well-being as you move throughout your day, and you'll just feel better because of it. So whether you are a beginner or a seasoned yoga practitioner, you will benefit from today's practice. For today's practice, you will not need any props. However, you may decide to reach for a pillow or a block, so just have it on standby in case you do decide to reach for it. That's it. Get into something cozy. I hope you enjoy the practice today, and I will see you on the mat. So starting in a tabletop position, tucking the toes under and bearing your weight back onto your heels, dragging the pinky toes forward. Just closing the eyes here. Let's take a nice big inhale, draw the shoulders up towards the ears, and down and back. Notice if you're tensing your shins, and try to relax the toes, the legs. Coming into our last few breaths here, if you'd like to a little bit deeper, simply interim your knees closer to the top of the mat so that you're just on your toes as opposed to the ball of the foot. Last few breaths here. Let's take our last two breaths, and maybe for these breaths, you press your palms down into your thighs. Nice big inhale. And let it go. One more inhale. And let it go. Gently rock forward, untuck the toes. You can rotate the ankles. Tap the toes on top of the mat. Rotate the ankles. And we'll counter stretch that now. So this time you're pressing your toenails into the floor and bearing your weight back onto your heels. You can also slide pillows underneath your knees or blocks if you're looking for a little bit more of a stretch. You can also sprinkle your fingertips behind you and gently draw your knees towards your chest, just for a count of 3. For 2. Nice big inhale here. And gently lower on the exhale. Rock forward and untuck the toes once again. Maybe you extend one leg back and the other. And from here, finding a child's pose, so bringing the knees nice and wide, bringing the big toes to touch at the back of the mat as you send your hips towards your heels. Extend your arms far out in front of you, bringing your left cheek to the mat. And halfway through, I will cue you to look to the opposite side. Taking nice deep breaths into the low back. So we have come halfway, looking to the opposite side, bringing the opposite cheek to the mat. So coming into our last few breaths, bringing the forehead or the chin to the mat and just turning your palms to face up. So bringing the stretch to the underside of the arm. Last few breaths here. Let's take our last 2 breaths. Nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Gently lift the gaze, coming forward onto your forearms and coming onto your belly. Bringing your feet as wide as the mat, and then propping up onto your forearms, making sure your shoulders are in line with your elbows. Today you can bring your hands to prayer. And then thinking about pulling your elbows back as you draw your chest forward and through. Everything below the waist is nice and relaxed. You can make some neck rotations here in one direction. Really trying to exaggerate the movement. And switching directions. Stretching the front side, the front of the neck. If you lean your head back and press your tongue against the roof of your mouth, you'll feel a nice stretch in the front of the throat, and also shimmy from side to side. Before bringing your head back to neutral. Coming into our last few breaths here. You can stay here or turning your palms to the top corners of your mat, pushing down into your palms to lift the forearms off the floor. So your belly button is still on the mat. Last few breaths here. So coming into our last 2 breaths. You can walk your hands in a little bit closer if you'd like, but on every inhale, thinking about bringing the breath right up underneath the armpit. Nice big inhale here. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And let it go. Bringing the belly, the forearms to the floor. Bringing your arms out in front of you, palms face up again, and bringing the forehead to rest on the mat. Taking nice deep breaths into the low back now. Gently lifting the gaze from here and rolling right onto your back. Knees are bent. And from here, you're going to take the right foot and weave it underneath the left leg. So your right foot comes behind your left glute. Grab a hold of your right foot with your left hand, bringing your right knee, right shin to the floor. From here, drawing your left knee in towards your chest and taking your right hand, grabbing a hold of the left knee. So taking that stretch to the top of the right quad, right hip flexor. Last few breaths here before we transition. Let's take our last two breaths. A nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And let it go. So gently from here, taking the right hand to the outside of the left knee, you're going to draw the left knee all the way over to the right. And halfway there, just readjust your right hip so that you're actually on your right hip, and extend the left leg straight. If you have a pillow, you can place the leg underneath the pillow for support. Feeling a nice stretch in the hamstring. Also think about widening the gap between your lower left rib cage and your left hip. Last few breaths here. Making these your deepest breaths. Last 2 breaths here. Nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Gently release the grip of the right foot. Bend the left knee, draw the left knee back. And bring the sole of the left foot to the floor. Bring the right foot to the floor and just readjusting the hips as needed. Just noticing how that one side feels. You windshield wiper your knees from side to side. We'll do this on the other side. So this time you're taking the left foot behind the right. So the left foot comes behind the right glute. Grab a hold of the left foot with your right hand. Bring your left shin, left knee to the floor. Draw the right knee in towards the chest and grab a hold of the right knee with your left hand. Feeling the stretch on the top of the left quad, left hip flexor. Last few breaths here before we transition. Let's take our last 2 breaths. Nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more, inhale. And let it go. So from here, taking the left hand to the outside of the right knee, you're going to draw that left knee all the way over to the right. And then halfway, when you're halfway there, scoot yourself so you're actually on your left hip. Placing a pillow underneath your leg and extending that right leg straight. Last few breaths here. Making these your deepest breaths. Last two breaths, nice big inhale, fill up. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Gently release the grip on the left foot and the right knee. Roll back onto the back. Right foot comes to the floor. Bend the left knee, left foot comes to the floor, and readjust the hips. From here, bend the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Gently rock side to side. We'll find double when you're relieving pose from here. So drawing the knees in towards your chest, feel your thighs compress up against your belly. You can stay here or lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Wrap your arms around your knees. Squeeze into a nice tight ball for 3, for 2. Take a nice big inhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And exhale, release. Extend your legs out wide, arms out wide for your Shavasana. Today I'm going to find reclined butterfly, soles of the feet to touch, and I'll bring my arms up overhead today. Slowly calling ourselves back, wiggling the fingers, the toes, rotating the ankles, the wrists, reaching the arms up overhead, interlace the fingers, nice long body stretch. Reach, 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 reach. And on the exhale, let it go. Bend the knees one by one, rolling onto your side. You can cradle the head and the upper arm here. And from here, gently pushing yourself all the way up to a seat. Keeping the eyes closed if you can. Just humbly bow your chin in towards your chest. Taking these few moments to set your intention for the day. Gently opening the eyes. I hope you enjoyed this morning's yin yoga practice. Leave me a comment, let me know how you got on during the practice, share it with friends, family. And before we leave, I just wanted to say a great big thank you to those of you who have donated to my GoFundMe and my PayPal. It will help with the overall production on my channel, just helping me enhance things, buy certain equipment, and just making this channel the best that it can be. So thank you very much. It doesn't go unnoticed and is much appreciated. So having said that, I will see you back here again soon for another practice.